The very first teaser for Episode 4 revealed a fascinating element: Zubal's fresh appearance. This new design has become a favorite for Goose Works for multiple reasons. Firstly, it showcases one of the most eagerly awaited developments: Zubal actively participating in an adventure. Previously, this seemed entirely improbable. Secondly, the uniform suits Zubal incredibly well, complementing her distinct personality. However, Zubal doesn't seem thrilled about it. Instead, she appears irritated, angry, and downright moody. During a therapy session with Cain, Zubal finally opened up. Not just to him or to us, but also to herself. She likely expected some sort of empathetic response from Cain, but evidently she did not receive it. Cain's detached demeanor may have worsened her emotional state, making this potentially the last time we witness her involvement in one of his adventures. All signs hint at the possibility that after the mission at Spudsy, Zubal will return to the digital circus more disgruntled than ever. There's a strong chance she may confront Cain directly, airing her grievances and ultimately refusing to join in any future adventures. This situation is particularly odd, given that the therapy session was supposed to mark a turning point, signaling a transition from the old Zubal to a new version of her character. Clearly, something went awry. Why did this session not only fail to provide help, but perhaps even deepen the problems? Let's examine the most critical aspects of this session, unraveling how it, combined with leaked information, steered Zubal toward a much darker trajectory, one we'll witness in Episode 4. In one of the most iconic moments of the session, Zubal says,
"I told you what my problem is. You just never remember because... never mind."
My mind is a beeswax polished coconut. Nothing ever escapes these cakes. So what can I do to make my adventures more appealing to you?
See? This is exactly what I'm talking about. All you're thinking about is your adventures. It has nothing to do with the adventures. It's more just... forget it. You're probably not even listening.
Zubal, look at this cool bee I drew.
This moment highlights one of Zubal's core frustrations: Cain's obsession with his adventures. To Zubal, it isn't even about the adventures themselves. It's something deeper. But Cain's inability to focus on anything other than his creations frustrates her further. Zubal didn't even want to participate in the therapy session, but Cain left her no choice. This initial scene provided viewers a chance to understand Zubal more clearly while also revealing more about Cain. From the beginning, Zubal demonstrates that she isn't the person we initially thought she was. We see a calm, communicative side of her, ready to express her thoughts, but it's evident she views Cain as incompetent, something she directly tells him. Additionally, we learn that Zubal is capable of being emotionally hurt, which seemed impossible in earlier episodes. Despite repeatedly telling Cain that her dissatisfaction doesn't stem from the adventures, she struggles to get her real point across. This scene builds a connection between viewers and Zubal, making her more relatable. Yet the following scene unveils a surprising and unexpected side of her character. Zubal reveals a vulnerability rarely seen before, stating,
I do not use my adventures to torture my guests. Any torment I inflict is 100% accidental, like any good war criminal.
We weren't even talking about that. I really couldn't give less of a crap about the adventures.
Then what is your problem, Zubal? I'm trying my best to remember, but both you and my brain won't tell me.
It's me, remember? I don't like myself. I hate this body. I hate all these stupid removable pieces. I just want to find something that feels good.
Oh, yeah, now I remember why I couldn't remember. It's because that problem is already solved. Simply swap out your undesirable Zubal parts for better ones.
I've been trying to find parts I like since the day I got here.
So, back to the adventures.
Forget it.
Forget it?
Just forget it.
Forget what?
Cain, nobody likes your stupid adventures.
Ha ha! Good one, Zubal.
Ragatha's just too nice to say anything. Jax just likes to f*** with everybody. Gangle's too shy to speak up. Kinger's insane. And Pomni, she looks traumatized every time she comes back from one.
Oh, Zubal. Making adventures is my art. It's all I exist to do,
Zubal's frustration intensifies as she explains that she's been searching for suitable parts since the day she arrived, but nothing ever feels right. This culminates in her shutting down the session entirely, saying,
good at. And, what you're saying could imply that I'm bad at the only thing I'm good at, and that... that'd be...
Whose therapy session is this again?
Oh yeah! We need to get to the...
What stands out most in this moment is Zubal's ability to skillfully navigate and even derail the unwanted therapy session with minimal effort. She demonstrates remarkable self-awareness and a sharp wit that many fans may not have fully appreciated until this episode. Many had already suspected by episode 3 that Zubal wasn't comfortable in her body. This discomfort explains her abrasive attitude, which often acts as a protective mechanism. In one poignant moment, Zubal laments the loss of another character, Kaufmo, and quips about who might be next. This mix of dark humor and raw emotion adds depth to her personality, showing how deeply these unresolved issues affect her. To truly grasp why the therapy session failed, we need to revisit earlier episodes. In the pilot, episode 2, and parts of episode 3, we see hints of Zubal's inner struggles. She appears dismissive and even rude toward others, but these traits are revealed to be defensive strategies, shielding her from the emotional turmoil of the digital circus. Zubal's dynamic with Jax also deserves attention. While Jax is the classic anti-hero who thrives on pushing others' buttons, Zubal often counters his antics with calm defiance, showing she can hold her own against him. Their interactions add a layer of complexity to Zubal's character, suggesting she's far more resilient than she initially appears. Interestingly, Cain's response to Zubal's reluctance to participate in his adventures evolves over time. Initially, he dismisses her objections, but by the second episode, her refusal starts to bother him. By episode 3, he even goes to considerable lengths to understand why she avoids his adventures. In one instance, Cain pleads with her,
Zubal, I just want to get to the bottom of why you keep skipping all my amazing adventures. You could end up really hurting Bubbles' feelings.
Bubbles' feelings?
Enough about Bubbles' feelings! How about your feelings?
Zubal's disinterest stems from more than just dissatisfaction with the adventures. It's tied to her longing for a body that feels right. In the closing scene of episode 2, we see a softer side of Zubal as she invites others to join her in a moment of reflection. This scene reinforces the idea that, with the right support and a more comfortable body, Zubal might embrace the adventures and fully integrate into the group. In the final therapy scene of episode 3, Zubal briefly takes on the role of therapist, reversing her dynamic with Cain. This unexpected twist showcases her sharp intellect and highlights how poorly Cain handles vulnerability, both hers and his own. As we look ahead to episode 4, Zubal's storyline promises to take another significant turn. Episode 3 revealed that Zubal is a mix of conflicting traits, tough and dismissive one moment, tender and vulnerable the next. This multifaceted nature makes her one of Goose Works' most beloved characters. Fans can only hope that Cain finally listens to her and provides the changes she's been longing for. A more comfortable body for Zubal would not only improve her outlook, but also brighten the overall dynamic of the digital circus. However, whether or not this transformation will happen remains uncertain. There's also the possibility that Cain will ignore her concerns entirely, forcing her to join the group in episode 4. This could either lead to an explosive confrontation or further alienate Zubal from the rest of the team. Ultimately, Zubal's journey continues to captivate audiences, leaving us eager to see how her story unfolds in the next episode. Will she find the resolution she seeks, or will her struggles deepen? Only time will tell.